Good morning. It's Thursday, November 6th, I think, or 7th, whatever that day is. And I'm in Charleston Harbor, getting ready to leave. And it's going to be a beautiful day today. Nice weather. And as soon as I can get out to the coast, I think I've got some good wind for at least 12 hours today. And then it gets a little light maybe overnight and maybe starts to turn a little unfavorable Friday. But I just wanted to talk real quick about like what one does differently for an ocean passage versus ICW transit or something like that. So the primary difference is, as far as I'm concerned, you got to be a little bit more careful with your planning. The boat needs to be really carefully tidied up and put to bed. So let's take a look at that. We'll do a tour at some point of the boat, but anything that's out and about, needs to be secured. So you can see up there in the V berth where I sleep, I've got the guitar, I've got all my clothes, everything that I need. The towel that I might use is laid out for me if I ever have to run down here quickly. All the tools are fully secured. The bags are tied in so that they can't come shooting out if the ocean gets a little rolly. All the dishes are done. I got a couple of cups there from last night that need to be dried. That box of wine will get down to the floor level. I've had that one eject previously. So you learn these lessons as you go. Over here on the nav table, that green box, that green tote is full of cruising guides, camera equipment, laptop, things that I might need, but you can see it's pretty strategically set in there with those hatch boards to keep it from sliding, because otherwise it does slide. So everything down here has been secured more or less for ocean passage. And then the other big thing is this tangle. This is called a jackline, and this one happens to be homemade. I bought a roll of seatbelt material, I don't know, 10 years ago or something, for doing single-handed stuff. And so this is very high strength seatbelt material webbing that's been folded over, and I will run this around the exterior of the boat. You can see there it's fastened into a strong point, and I will run this around the boat and show you what it looks like when I'm done and how I use it. Okay, so that's done. You can see that the jackline now has been run, and it runs, you got to be careful about this. I have to move this line outside of the jackline, but that jackline runs all the way up the side of the boat. It's snug. It's not super tight. I have to be able to clip into it. It runs all the way up to the bow through the two docking cleats under the anchor chain and back down the other side to the cockpit. And so what that creates is a strong point for me to clip onto. And so here, this is my spin lock deck vest, and it has what's called an integral tether point or an integral harness. So this piece of webbing is sewn right into the life jacket and is super secure. And then I've got on there this snap shackle. The reason we use the snap shackle, it again is very secure under load, but if I need to release it, I just pull this little tab and it releases. So if I was ever in a situation where I needed to sort of eject if I went overboard but needed to get away from the boat, I can do that fairly easily. And then the rest of this tether has two heavy-duty clips. You can see they won't open accidentally. You have to use a thumb to do that, otherwise that will not open unless you want it to. There's two of them. This one is the longer spring-loaded one. I think it extends to 6 feet. And then I have a shorter 3-foot length. And the way this works is if I wanted to clip on to my jackline like that, now if I was working up on deck, I can be sure that if I lost my balance, the first goal is I want to stay on the boat. So I would usually use the short tether so that I can't go over the lifelines, because that's a pretty big problem if I do. But in the worst case scenario, if I do go over the lifelines, I don't want the boat to continue to sail away without me. So I have the jackline and tether system to make sure that I stay on the boat. And I only wear this when I'm offshore. I don't do this, or if it's really bad weather, but cruising down the ICW, I don't have any need of this. I'm seldom on deck anyway. There's no sails up, but today going offshore, it's good to have this rigged.